Hello, and welcome to MoviePod, the podcast about movies. I'm your host, Brian Wishart, and this is the final regular episode of MoviePod before the big format change next week. And to send us off, I brought in Egg Brain to the show. How's it going, Egg?
Hello. I'm good. It was very hot in the city today, so not ideal, but I made it through the day.
Yeah, Ontario humidity is the worst. Like, I don't think people who are not from Ontario understand how miserable it gets when it gets humid here.
It's like raining, except it's not raining, but it's like it's raining. That's how wet you get.
It's just, you just get so sweaty, it's miserable, it's awful. Like, you can't even go into the shade and feel, like, relief from the heat.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good.
It's the absolute worst. But, you know,
it might be better than, like, meatball tornadoes.
It might be, but we haven't messed around with food-related weather events around here lately, which I think is something we should probably give a go with, because, like, in the end, they have some fun with it.
Yeah, well, to begin with, in the very beginning, it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, by the way, the movie we're talking about, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
No, not the first one. The second one.
The second movie, not the first one. So, you brought this movie to me. What made you want to talk about this movie in particular and not the first one?
The second movie is, I think, just one of my favorite movies. Just of all movies. It's like The Thing and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Like, those are my two favorite movies. And I don't know, it's such a weird movie. You could tell that whoever was involved in it had a great time, just like writing it and animating it and the voice acting. And so I appreciate that it's just like a very strange movie.
The pace is very
fun.
strange in this movie. Like, it's very
Yes.
like fast paced at points, and it slows down to a crawl at points, and then it gets really fast. It's almost like the dialogue's like 3 times speed at points with some of the jokes that are cracking out.
Yeah, it's paced very strangely. Yeah, it's just a very odd movie that I just really like.
Yeah. So this is obviously the sequel to the Cloudy Chance Meatballs 1. So this movie came out in 2013. So this came out about like a few years after the first Cloudy Chance Meatballs movie. So the first movie is based on the same title by Judy Barrett from 1978. I've never read that book.
Yeah, I have read the book, and I was familiar with the book before I saw the first movie. And the first movie actually does follow the main plot beats of the book, except the book is written from the perspective of, like, a grandmother telling her grandkids a story.
Okay.
There is no scientist in the book, but it is about weather that is food-related. The weather keeps getting worse and worse and worse until eventually the townspeople have to build sandwich boats and leave the island, which is how the movie ends. So
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so the first movie is directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. At this point, they were known for their work on Clone High. They were brought on to adapt the book into the first movie, so they wanted to make an homage to and parody to disaster films such as the Day After Tomorrow and Twister, and people really liked it. I like that movie a lot. I think I saw it in the theater when it came out. It made a good chunk of change. The greenlit sequel. It took a while for the sequel to get off the ground. Lord and Miller came up with the story, but they did not return to direct the sequel. There's a sequel to the book called Pickles in Pittsburgh, but this movie has nothing to do with that.
No, and I never read Pickles. I imagine she wrote Pickles in Pittsburgh in response to the movie coming out in the first place, because the sequel doesn't come out till like 2010.
Oh wow, okay, so it's a pretty late one.
Yeah.
And so this storyboard artist for the first film, Cody Cameron, is one of the new directors. He also voiced Pinocchio in the Three Little Pigs and the Shrek films. And Chris Pern, who previously did storyboard work for movies like Open Season, he's the other director for it. So this film has 3 credited screenwriters. Erica Rivanoya, she has a story credit, and she was a former South Park writer, and she would later be showrunner for the new Clone High revival. She also was up for an Oscar because she co-wrote the Borat sequel. Yeah. And the other 2 writers are the writing pair John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. They would later write Spider-Man Homecoming, but they would also direct Game Night and Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which I think are both absolutely fantastic hysterical movies.
Both really good movies.
I love Game Night so much. Rachel McAdams is so funny in that movie.
And I swear, there was a Reddit AMA with them around right after Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 came out, but I could not, for the life of me, find it. I did look for it, but I could not find it.
So, what's your overall experience with the Cloudy Meatballs franchise? Like, how did you come into this?
I don't remember when I saw the first movie because it came out right as I started high school, and we must have just rented it. But I remember me and my sister both really liked it, and then the second movie I also did not see in theaters. I must have rented it at some point and watched it with my sister, and again we both just really liked it. I think they were both on Netflix at various points. But yeah, we never saw it in theaters, didn't know anything about it, but it's a movie that we've just watched a bunch of times.
Those are always fun ones. I think with me, I think I saw the first one in the theater because I was huge into Clone High, and I found like, oh, there's like the guys who made Clone High are making an animated movie. That sounds awesome. I didn't see the second one in the theaters because it came out like right when I was starting up journalism school, and I was just so damn busy that I didn't have time to go see movies. But I definitely watched the second one. I think when it came out on streaming or something. I've always liked and I still like the first one a lot more than the second one. They're both very fun movies. First one just has like a bit more of an emotional punch for me than the second one does. This one's a way zanier movie.
Yeah, the second one is just kind of it's just weird. It's just very weird.
It's a strange one, yeah.
The first one has like a normal kind of plot structure, normal character interactions. It feels like a movie, and the second one is like, huh, that's funny.
Yeah,
but that's why I like it. I like movies with like weird plot structures.
Absolutely. Well, start the movie off. So like Sony made a movie under the Columbia umbrella. So you get the Columbia lady in the title card there, and she gets knocked away by a banana, and the banana grows legs, makes dolphin noises. Strawberry hops on, rides it away, and we're in for a wacky adventure even before we get to like the credits.
That's the Banostrich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of these animal food hybrids all have names.
Yeah, and also something that is also very funny to me in this movie is none of the names of any of the animals are funny. They are just all really bad puns. They're not
awful puns.
They're all bad,
like,
and I love that.
You can imagine like there's like probably like they came up with like when in the pitch meeting coming with all these names and stuff. They probably came like, here's the funniest name. Let's go for the third funniest name. Let's not go for the best one. Let's go for the groaner of a joke.
Yeah, and that's pretty spectacular. But I imagine once we get into the plot, I'll name every single animal because I know them all. I'll rank them. I'll give you my top 10.
Please do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the credits are pretty funny. It starts off like a film made by a lot of people. And so we get reacquainted with our hero, Flint Lockwood. He's voiced by Bill Hader. We see him talk about always wanting to be an inventor, which is how the first one starts off too. So you see him as a cute little kid. But this time around, the sequel, you see him watching a TV scientist named Chester V. A Chester V guy. He really inspires young Flint. Chester is voiced by Will Forte. Honestly, I don't think it's that great of a voice that Will Forte is doing. I don't think Will Forte is really bringing it a lot in this movie. I think Bill Hader is incredible as Flint Lockwood. I think the voices are overall really good.
Yeah, it's not the villain's voice or Chester V's voice is not necessarily very unique, but I find the overall design of Chester V to be deeply unsettling. More so later in the movie.
Let's talk about it now because like we see him on Tia's point. So he's he's older looking guy.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Steve Jobs analog. Yeah. And like so it's like a bald guy. He has like a bit of like his torso is almost like a shell, like a turtle shell almost.
Yes.
And he has very, very long, skinny limbs. He's able to retract back on this torso thing occasionally, which is so weird because like that's not how any other human operates in this movie. He has a completely different like set of physics and rules around how he moves around. Like he slithers around like a snake. He like moves his body in such weird ways.
Yeah, he's very unsettlingly animated. There's one gag that keeps sort of repeating throughout the movie where he will move his hands sort of in front of the camera, and then they'll drop off screen and reappear on another side of the screen in a way that would be like too fast for a human to do. Yeah, and occasionally he will actually have more than two hands to do the
weird.
Gag.
Like it's just such an unsettling looking guy. So like we kind of get from the get go this guy's gonna be kind of evil. So we see some flashbacks from the first movie. So like little young Flint Lockwood as a scientist there. Flint Lockwood is the biggest nose you could possibly imagine. Very cute little kid and everything. So we see flashbacks to the first movie. He was in school as a kid and invented spray-on shoes. So it's like literally spray paint, he sprays shoes on, but he can't get the shoes off, which is a big joke in the first one.
Still has them on. They still cannot be removed.
Yeah, still cannot be removed at this point. So then it also shows his big invention from the last movie, a device that turns water into food.
Fluidsimifer.
Fluidsimifer.
They pronounce it differently every time they say it. On
it's so. I was trying to like lock down exactly how it was pronounced. And I was like, oh yeah, they're just like pronouncing it a different way every single time. So this stands for the Flint Lockwood Diatonic Super Mutating Dynamic Food Replicator.
Yeah.
And so the premise of the first movie is that he's from a small town that their whole industry is sardines, and sardines are boring. No people don't like sardines very much. But his dad's just like a sardine fisherman or like works at a tackle shop. And he wants to feed people, help people, so he develops a device that provides like whatever food you could possibly want, just like, falls around, you can eat whatever you want. And then of course it gets kind of screwy, and the device gets overwhelmed and starts creating like weather disasters all over the town as well as the globe. And some of the food starts becoming living creatures as well and attacking people.
Not in the first movie.
Like you get I guess it's not food animals, but like you get like living gummy bears attacking people and stuff.
Oh yeah, towards like the very end of the
the end of the movie.
Yeah, at the very end of the movie.
Flint destroys his invention, and in doing so, like he gets the respect of his friends in the community. He gains the affection of Sam Sparks, who is the plucky, secretly nerdy weather girl in the first movie, voiced by Anna Faris, who I love Anna Faris. I think she's a very, very funny actress. He taught her it was okay to wear glasses and a ponytail in the last movie, and not to be ashamed of being smart. It's always cute when they try to kiss one another because his nose is so big that they can't like actually like lock lips. So like she has to like blow up her cheeks and stuff to actually make contact with them.
Yeah. Anna Faris, I really like her as the weather girl. She's also done, I like her other voice acting role in Monsters vs. Aliens, which is also another animated movie that I really like and is weirdly very good.
I never saw that one, actually.
It's great. If you have me on again, do that one.
For sure, we'll see if it'll fit the new format. Yeah, so at the end of the first movie, everyone's cheering and happy and everything because they, stop the weather disaster happening worldwide. So, like, this movie starts off with, like, them celebrating, and they all agree to work together. They won't redo the Flitzmer weather device that caused all the chaos in the first movie. So they decide to start a lab called Sparkswood, and the returning cast in the first movie all decide to help out with it. And out of the blue, Chester V's hologram shows up in town there, and on a humanitarian mission. So they want to clean up all the food stuff, all the food disasters happening. So this wows Flint. Chester V tells everyone that everyone has to move out of town for the cleanup effort. So they relocated to San Fran Jose.
Yes.
So Sam and Flint are happy because it's like, where Chester V's headquarters is stationed. So, like, Flint is hesitant because, like, 2 minutes before to take this job, because 2 minutes before he like came with this brilliant idea. This was like, let's create a lab together, but like everyone on the team's like, no, go follow your dreams instead. So I think it's a bit of a clumsy and rush way to start a movie, but it really motors. So they all get helicopter.
Yeah. They also acknowledge that it's extremely rushed in the actual dialogue. Flint says something like, oh, but just 2 minutes ago I decided on this path in my life. And everyone's like, no, it's okay. We just decided to do this.
Yeah, it's like, it's really, really fast. But it gets the plot moving. You kind of, like, we don't get the mayor from the first movie who's voiced by Bruce Campbell popping up again. Like, we just get the set characters we want to have in action, and we just get them to where we need to be next. So it really just goes by very fast. So then with the Chester V hologram context, the real Chester V says like, everything's going to plan. So, like, Operation Capture the Invention is now proceeding. So they're clearly after the Flitzmer device. They want to do something with the weather control, this food control device. Open title card, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. So San Fran Jose. And now Flint's living with his sardine with his father, Tim Lockwood, voiced by James Caan, as well as his monkey assistant, Steve.
I love Steve. In this movie, Steve gets more to do, and he's always doing something in the background of pretty much every shot he's in, just doing something silly, which he's used pretty sparingly in the first movie, I imagine, because the studio was like, this character is extremely annoying, please don't use him very much.
Yeah.
But in this movie, they're like, I don't know, do whatever the hell you want. and so Steve is there constantly.
They even give him like a
I
little
love
girlfriend
Steve.
too.
Yeah, a very creepy.
It's very strange.
We'll get to Barb very soon.
For sure. Yeah, so Steve is voiced by Neil Patrick Harris. He has like it's like a monkey that has like a translator device that allows him to like, say words and stuff, like a robotic voice.
He mostly just says Steve and
Yeah.
yellow and mustache.
Yeah.
Just single words. He's really good.
Yeah. So the core where Flint's going after work there, like it feels very much of its time in 2013. So like it's like one of these tech companies like Google and Facebook where like they market themselves like, oh, like we have foosball tables here. You don't have to leave the campus of your workplace at all. Like you have all you need possibly here to work here forever and not have an outside life. I remember like back in 2013, like the idea of that sounded like really, really cool. Like that was like what you kind of want to work at, but like it sounds very sinister looking back at it.
Yeah.
You should be allowed to leave your work occasionally.
Yeah, it's funny because it feels like barely even a parody. It's like, no, this is just what like Google and Apple were saying. It was like, come to work and we'll party and we'll have a million coffees and you'll just work all day and be happy. It's not even a parody. Yeah.
Flint's really happy with being there, but he's basically just like Steve the monkey's freaking out. He has a lot of anxiety over this whole thing. So Flint is hired to become like hopefully become a successful thinquanaut. So basically, he's like shoved off in like a little cubicle, trying to come up with as many inventions as possible. So it's a sad-looking cubicle. Every girl that comes just basically trying to come up with a million ideas to submit to Chester V. So like the idea is that like he's kept stealing the ideas of like all the gruntlings under him. So we had a great montage of Flint testing out inventions on his poor father. So like he gets like shrunk, he gets shot, he gets sprayed with a sparkly birthday glitter and cheer. It's really funny.
Yeah, the surprise box. Yeah, but it also shows that scene, the montage of all of Flint's inventions. Flint is legitimately a genius. He invents a time machine that will make it day or night, so you can choose. He also makes my favorite of his inventions, the grocery deliverator, which is a teleportation device that only works on food.
Yeah.
It does not work on people or other animals, just for food.
That would be so useful.
Yeah, well, it is. It's very useful in the movie.
It's useful in the movie, but that'd be so useful in real life too. Like,
oh my god, yeah, instead of Uber Eats, you could just order like a portal and someone will just throw a burrito at you.
Or even instead of just like going to your fridge, you can just like lay on your couch and be lazy and just like get to your fridge.
Oh yeah. Oh, but you couldn't reach your hand in.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like invent another thing that like pushes food
catapult
out of your fridge, like a spring device.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now we're thinking like Flynn.
So 6 months later, there's this big ceremony. They're going to announce like the best Thinquanaut gets rewarded with a big prize from Chester V. So Chester V wants to reinvent. So he's working on a food bar. So he's working on Food Bar 8.0. Very much like treated like how like iPhones are released and stuff. So this food bar is supposed to like revolutionize the world or something like that. This was the big invention of like the tech sphere. So they announce who the winner is. It's Flint, but it's not Flint Lockwood. It's Flinty McCallahan that wins. He invented a zero emissions car that runs on Qt.
Yeah, there's little kittens shoved into the gas tank.
It's so adorable.
It's very cute. But I really like in this scene how they're just doing an iPhone hype cycle for a food bar. That they don't even specify what it does. We never know, is it an energy bar? Is it a meal replacement bar? Is it a protein bar? Who knows? Who cares? It's Food Bar 8. Like, it might as well just be... It is just the stand-in for an iPhone, but just food.
Do you remember around this time there was some company that made something called... Some Silicon Valley company that made something called Soylent, which is like a meal replacement?
Yeah, and the guy who ran the company was like, it has nothing to do with the movie Soylent Green.
Which, like, Soylent... Spoiler for Soylent Green, but Soylent Green ends up being, like, people, like, mushed into, like, a protein bar. Like, why would you name your company that? Like... These tech people have no idea what the hell they're doing. Like, they have no idea what they're basing their things on. They have no actual, like, understanding of the literature or text that they are, like, think is cool. These things, so that's a cool word.
And I think this movie actually kind of captures that pretty well, because it's like, they never explain what LiveCore does other than it's like, oh, they make a product. They make a product and everyone loves them.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's a pretty good, like, distillation of a lot of tech companies, is they make something that does something, I guess.
And people want to work for them because they allegedly make something, but you don't really know what it is. Like, it's like...
Yeah, and they have a bunch of grunt laborers trapped in the basement trying to make inventions all day, every day for 6 months.
So Flint, he accidentally bursts off his celebration surprise device, so everyone gets sprayed with the glitter around him. So he's humiliated and sad. Even when he's walking home, like there's a song about the inventor's sad and walking home.
Yeah, there's a Tom Waits music break, which also occurs in one of my other favorite animated movies, Robots, where there's a really sharp, hard cut to a Tom Waits song, and it's just as funny here as it is there. But he's covered in glitter and sprinkles and like rainbow, and he's dragging this huge trail of paint behind him because he's just covered in glitter. And his monkey's with him. And he gets home and he like collapses on the bed, and his monkey, instead of comforting him, just starts to like lick all of the paint off of him. And then both his dad and Sam Sparks bring him the same identical like congratulations cakes, which is in the shape of the vest that all of the Thinkonauts wear. Flint is just like sobbing on the bed, just like inconsolable because he did not get the job. His hero did not like him, did not pick him, even though I think all of his inventions were way cooler than the car that runs on kittens.
Absolutely, yeah, they're all like pretty useful too. Like,
yeah,
and
he made time travel.
Yeah, like
and a shrink ray and a teleportation device.
I'm surprised the shrink ray really come back at all, because I feel like that's something that could have been very used for a lot of comedy.
It's just such a funny cutaway gag, but it's also like, yeah, you can work as hard as you can and as much as you can and do great work, and no one will really give a shit. It's like yeah, whatever.
It's so real.
Whatever. Car that runs on cute. That way.
So later on, Chester shows up to Flint, or his hologram shows up to Flint, and says that he wants to send someone who knows the island well, who's hit rock bottom for an expendable mission. Chester, Nefarious is like, he wants to go back to the island where the first movie takes place, and he wants to find someone who's hit rock bottom for an expendable mission. It's like, oh yeah, this guy Flint. So Chester visits Flint and briefs him on what he wants to do. So the cleanup mission that they're doing there initially looked all great and normal, but it's chaotic because there's now living food monsters attacking people. And the scariest thing about these food monsters, they're learning how to swim, so they could escape the island, destroy even more monuments around the world. So Flint is tasked to go to the island and insert a device that's called the BS-USB into the Flitzflipper to stop it from making more food monsters.
Yeah, and very specifically, Flint is concerned that the food monsters will attack the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Because that was the only monument that was not destroyed in the food storm from the first movie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
This is a dangerous mission. He's supposed to go by himself, but of course, Flint tells his friend. So Sam's eager to go. The whole crew from the first movie is all ready to go. So Flint gets his dad too involved. So they get to the food island through Flint's dad's fishing ship. They get close to the island. Sam in particular, she's wearing like Laura Dern's exact outfit from Jurassic Park. So it's pretty much like, this is supposed to be like, we're going to an island like Jurassic Park. We are doing some sort of big jungle adventure, and it's a dangerous mission, but like, we do this for science kind of thing. So as they get close to the island, a lot of food stuff's popped up. So like they see like a lot of like slices of toast in the water there. They're like crags of rocks, and like they're like, oh yeah, we're toast. And they're running into like giant bananas in the water too, and it's like, oh yeah, this is bananas. So this movie's just so full of just like food puns nonstop,
but just like really low level bad food puns.
Yeah, a lot of them are groaners.
None of there's one that's quite funny, but that's about it.
Is that the one that they used twice?
Yeah, the joke's so good, it's in there twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, from sort of when they get to the island to about the midway point through the movie, it's just Jurassic Park. Like, it's just straight up regular Jurassic Park. Which I really like. It's like, yeah, why not? It should be just like Jurassic Park. Who cares?
It's a fun premise for a movie. It really is.
Yeah, and then I like the cast of characters he brings with him. He just sort of brings whatever friend he had on the island. So he picks up Sam, the cameraman from the first one, who's also a doctor.
Voiced by Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah, Benjamin Bratt as Manny, and then Andy Samberg as Baby Brent, who's a grown man who used to be Flint's bully back on the island, and that's everyone. Yeah, I'm not. And then his dad, who he doesn't want to come with him, and he makes him stay on the boat. And he's like, "Go fishing or something, Dad." He doesn't really believe in his father. He thinks his father is kind of like lame and cringe.
Mm-hmm.
I really like their relationship, because in the first movie, it's mostly about like his dad trying to learn to like show how much he loves Flint.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, it's like his dad is very clearly loves him. They're talking a lot, and Flint is like, "Dad, you're kind of lame, and I don't like you."
Yeah, and like also like so his dad, voiced by James Caan, is like really into fishing. Basically, only speaks in like nautical and fish like terms. Like he has such a struggle to like actually like get to know his son and meet him on equal level, because his son's so into science and this guy's just into like fishing.
This guy is sardine pilled. He
Yeah.
only cares about sardines.
Oh, another person they have on the team too is the cop Earl Devereaux.
Oh, the cop! I forgot about Earl. Yes,
Yeah.
voiced this time not by Mr. T, but by Terry Crews, who I think is a great replacement.
Good replacement, yeah, because they also keep a lot of the Mr. T mannerisms for the cop as well. So like,
yeah,
it's a pretty good like if you're gonna replace Mr. T, it's a pretty good choice to do, because Terry Crews can do the voice very well.
yeah. I like his character as the sensitive but really muscular cop. He's the only cop on the entire island.
Yeah. So like they get to a building on the island there as they're trekking forward. So Tim, the dad's like left behind on the boat and everything. So the rest of the crew reaches this building, but it's like covered in cheese, and it's where they think Quinaughts in the video were attacked by cheese spiders. Mm-hmm. And so they're about to enter the building, but it's covered in cheese webbing. So like Earl the cop's like, he goes to cut the cheese, so he just karate chops through the cheese webbing.
And farts. He does also fart, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Yes, yeah, he also farts, which is very good.
And inside they encounter a character that I think you like.
Yeah, inside they find a bunch of boxes. One of them is moving. They open it up, and there is a huge strawberry with eyes, arms, and legs. And they immediately name him Barry. Mm-hmm. And Barry can say one word, and one word only, and that is "enwu," which is much relevant later. Mm-hmm. But I love Barry. I think he's great. He's sort of like I guess the Minions movie was out at this point. He's sort of a Minion-y type character in that he has big eyes and just speaks a gibberish language. I like him. I find him very endearing. Barry immediately eats the BS USB that Flint has. He immediately eats it and runs away. So they have to follow him.
Speaking of the Minions, one thing like with the Minions is I love it when the Minions get hurt and harmed. I think it's really funny with all the slapstick there. But like if Barry gets hurt or harmed, I get very upset.
Oh yeah, the stakes always feel very high whenever Barry is in any amount of peril. Mm-hmm. Which in this scene where they're they chase him through some stuff, he gets into water, like a river, and then there's all of these rapids, and it seems very dangerous. But Barry is just like la 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 la. So he's just very unfazed. But this is my favorite scene with all, and then we meet all of the other food creatures.
Oh yeah, because they're pointing out all the creatures, because like they get in a cop car, they're like floating down the river. They see a lot of other food combinations they run into. So they run into shrimpanzees, which is like shrimps mixed with chimpanzees.
Yeah, they use the monkey thought translator on the shrimpanzee, and its only thought is shrimpanzee. Because it knows its own name, which is interesting that they like have these labels for themselves.
They also see like jellyfish in the water, which is just jelly sandwiches mixed with like the legs of jellyfish.
Yeah, peanut butter and jellyfish. They see the cantaloupes, which is like, or maybe it's cantantelopes, cantaloupe and antelope. The banostrich, which I always thought was a dolphin with legs, and I thought it was a dolphin too. Yeah. Until I watched it again, and I was like, "Oh, they very explicitly say it's a bird, but it makes dolphin noises."
Yeah,
possibly because ostriches actually make very scary noises, and they didn't want to put that in the movie.
Yeah, ostriches are fucking weird birds. They're terrifying.
Yeah, there's some of those. There's like a meatloaf water buffalo type thing, I think, is in this one. There's elephants that are watermelons, so they're like watermelephants. Am I missing any?
They also see a giant tomato that's just a tomato.
Yeah, the huge tomato that's just a tomato. And these big dinosaurs that are made of, like, green onions.
Mm-hmm.
I like the green onion dinosaurs, but that's the real, like, Jurassic Park moment, is the big dinosaur made out of a green onion.
Yeah.
And they find a leak in the boat, and
Yep.
it's the vegetable, it's just a leak, and it screams, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
That's my favorite joke in the whole...
It's I hadn't seen this movie since like probably like it came out. This movie came out like when it came to streaming, and like, that was like the one joke I remember the most from this movie was like, "There's a leak in the boat."
Yeah, it's definitely in the trailer. It's in the movie, and it's in the movie again at a time because it's very funny. I really like it. It's a good joke.
Yeah.
I also really like. I liked how this scene was animated. I like the design of all of the food characters. I think they look. The design is way better than their food names, which is stupid.
They put the effort towards the actual design of the creature.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of plant life, sort of fantastical looking plant life, and I really like how the plants are designed in this movie. I think it's really.
It's a very colorful looking movie too. Like it's it looks really good. I like the animation a lot in this.
Yeah, which is weird because I dislike the character design quite a lot for most of the characters. But I think the way that they animated the motion is really good. The movement is really fluid for all of the characters. Yeah, and each character has like a unique motion to them, which is great.
Yeah, like everyone has their own unique design, unique way to move, and unique sense of humor too. So like the supporting cast truly doesn't have that much to do in this movie compared to the first one, but like they get funny jokes here and there, which is
it's weird because they're have less to do, but they're in it more.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they're always there. Yeah.
But also, it kind of feels like it's contractual obligation rather than they had anything. Actually, I know it's like they had one thing I do like what they do with Brent, his former bully who dressed like a chicken. I think they set up something pretty good with that later on. But other than that, like a lot of them are just kind of just there for the ride because they're in the first movie.
They're literally just there because they are all friends. Like it's like, well, you're friends, so you have to come with me.
Yeah,
and that's the premise. Yeah.
So like after the leaks in the boat, they fall down a waterfall. They're all okay there, and they're chased by a giant cheese spider, which is like a cheeseburger mixed with a spider. So this cheese spider captures Brent, who's dressed like a chicken, and he gets out of his chicken outfit there.
He is wearing a diaper.
He's wearing a diaper.
A leftover from the first movie where he is always sort of dressed as a baby.
Yeah.
To match he was the mascot for the baby Brent brand sardines on the island.
Yeah. I'm not that big into sardines anyway, but like if I saw a baby mascot on the sardines, like, is this baby food?
It's
like,
supposed to be like the the sunscreen where it's like the little
Copper
girl
tone?
it's the copper tone logo but with sardines.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Brent loses his job in the first movie because Flint basically takes over as the food person on the island. But then Brent is briefly a chicken, sort of, and then they become friends after. And Andy Samberg I like his voice for Brent. I think it's like a California surfer bro idiot kind of vibe.
It's very much his voice. They did a Californian sketch in SNL. Like, it is very much surfer bro kind of thing. Like, dumb doofus surfer.
Yeah. An idiot with a heart of gold.
Yeah. And like, despite him being like a bully as a kid and stuff, like, it's not like he's like mean as an adult either. He's just like...
No, but Flint also, like, kind of deserved a little bit of ridicule in the first movie because he was constantly ruining everything all the time.
Yeah, Flint does ruin a lot of things.
Yeah, well, in the first movie, he becomes an eco-terrorist. Like, before he invents the Phlismidimifer, because he releases a population of rat birds to the island that become like an invasive species problem. So the rat birds show up again in the second movie every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, Flint, his invention was good for short-term profit, but like it fucked over a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, and then while they're being attacked by the Thinquanauts, the cheese spider, the Thinquanauts show back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the cheese spider is clearly targeting people who have like live core like branded things on them.
Yeah.
So it's clearly going for their backpacks and stuff. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
so this is when Chester and Barb arrive out of nowhere to chastise
we forgot
Flint.
to explain Barb.
Yeah, so this is Barb's introduction, or I think Barb showed up before.
No, Barb shows him around the office.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Barb is an orangutan with a
very upsetting haircut.
A very awful haircut. She has a human brain inside of an orangutan brain, which she calls like a turducken brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Voiced by Kristen Schaal, who I love Kristen Schaal a lot. Like I think she's a fantastic voice actress, but it is a bit of a grating voice too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Barb, I really like her character, but her character design is, like Chester V, just so off-putting to look at. Like, she's got this huge fat head and this creepy bob haircut, and she's got these really long painted purple fingernails, which on an ape is just very out of place.
Yeah,
and she's also always riding around on a little Segway.
Mm-hmm. Barb and Chester show up there. They yell at Flint for not doing his mission alone, like he said he was going to do. They go and find Barry, and Barb tries to cut him open with a scalpel to get the BSUSB out of him. And little Barry pretty much shits out a pile of jam with BSUSB.
Jam.
And Steve is just jammed.
Yeah, Steve immediately eats the jam, and then Chester is also really trying to convince everybody how dangerous Barry is, that he's evil and nasty. But us as the audience, we're like, but he's so sweet and cute, and he's just a little Barry.
Yeah, he's the most adorable little thing on the planet. How could you hate this thing? There are terrifying monsters on this island, but Barry's not one of them. Barry's just he has little leaves for hands and legs and stuff. Big eyes, smiles, very cute little thing.
He's got the perfect ratio of eyes to smile on his little body. He's so simple and cute.
It's one of those things I'm surprised they didn't make a lot of merchandise out of it, or maybe I missed that.
I would buy a Barry merchandise now. I would buy that now. Oh, you know what? I actually kind of do. I have a strawberry stuffed animal with legs.
Does it have the same proportions of eyes as a?
No, they're not as big. It's a little smaller, but it's kind of like Barry.
That's close enough. That's good.
Yeah, spiritual Barry.
Spiritual Barry. So Chester unleashes his sentinels of safety, who are employees in robo-suits, to lead the way in the mission. So Flint wants to go back to his lab because at his lab he would have the ability to make contact with the Flintstoner. At this point, they're trying to make their way to the lab there, but we cut back to Flint's dad, Tim. He's bored, he's frustrated, so he's wandering the island. He's pissed off that his son's I don't want to stay on this boat. I want to do more. He finds his old tackle and bait shop he used to work at and finds a can of sardines. And in this shop there, there's a bunch of pickle monsters that want to eat it. Mm-hmm. So he gives them a sardine, and they all love sardines. So he tells them, hey, I know where you can find more sardines. So he gets a little subplot of Tim, with these little pickle monsters. And pickle monsters are a lot of fun.
I really like the pickle monsters. It's a whole family. So there's a mom figure and a dad figure and kind of two teenagers. And there's this really wonderful B plot of Tim teaching the pickles how to fish.
Yeah.
It's just really cute. They sing a song about fishing with the pickles, and they just have a nice time. The pickles are basically the sons that Tim always wanted.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, the B plot doesn't really go anywhere with the main plot other than Tim gets to have a really good time. I really enjoyed the B plot with teaching the pickles how to go fishing. It's very fun, but you're right, it has nothing to do with the main plot. It's basically just a way you can kind of pace the movie so you're not just constantly focusing on it. And it works really well as a break because it's so charming. It's one of the pickles is eating all the chum out of the chum bucket. Yeah. The mom pickle was using the fishing lures as earrings. And the mom also has a pet pearl onion. That's a pickled onion. That's very cute. Yeah. Yeah, they're so cute. And I love their design. I love that they're just a pickle with legs and then the mouth just opens and you can see seeds.
And I was reading that apparently the voice actors for the pickles they would just gargle water while reading their voice lines. So they get to Flint's lab, back with back. So they get to Flint's lab, and it's up in the air, tangled by vines. They get up there pretty easily. So in the lab, it turns out both Chester and Flint both invented their own elastic underwear. So you have to kind of rappel down to like get all that.
I hate this scene. This is the worst scene.
It's not good at all.
So creepy.
Yeah, because it's a lot of Chester V, who, as I said, he's kind of a jarring character to look at. It's very frantic action. It's kind of confusing what they're doing. They're just trying to fix lab equipment that has like it's electrified water.
Yeah, they're just trying to grab like a computer and a hard drive, but they're all dangling around in their underwear. It's a very long scene, too.
It's long.
This is the only scene that I don't like.
Yeah, it's not funny either, really. It's long, and it's kind of just like... But the big thing that happens in this scene there is Chester notices that Flint has Brent along, and Brent was a bully. And Chester says, like, oh, he wishes he kept his bullies around so he could crush the bullies with his success. And Flint's like, oh, that was in the past. Like, me and Brent are friends now. And Chester's like, oh, yeah, Flint, you can never be friends with a bully.
Yeah, he also pronounces bully as bully.
Yeah.
Which is like, just a funny... that scene with the Chinese phrase, I do like that scene because it's just like, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a very kinetic, chaotic scene, and basically all that matters is, like, Chester puts in Flint's mind, like, bullies are bad, like, they'll never reform themselves.
Yeah, and not only that, but friends will hold you back, too. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of the, like, you don't need anybody, you should be all by yourself just like me.
Yeah. So, like, pretty much the next scene, like, they are, like, Flint and his friends are hanging around there, they're having, like, gorilla stew together, and, Brent offers Flint some stew there. Flint remembers, like, oh my god, the saying there, so he, like, wants it away. And then talks to Flint, like, oh, why are you being weird to your friends? And just, like, typical, like, mid-act of a movie where it's like, oh, you wouldn't understand, like, this thing is all, like, in the last scene there. Not very, I think it's, like, kind of forced drama. It's pretty inorganic, but Sam has one great line. Flint says what Chinese proverb that a stew offered by a bully is poison broth. And Sam's like, says it her own different Chinese proverb, which is a bully turned friend is a friend to the end.
Yeah, I like that part. Yeah, the sort of the dialogue there, it definitely is too quick, like with Chester telling him, don't trust your friends, and then Sam immediately being like, why are you acting weird around your friends? Because we've had basically a single interaction between Flint and his friends in between that moment. So
Yeah,
it is too quick, but I like it.
It's the bizarre. It's the bizarre pacing of this movie, right? It's just like it's very fast and very slow, then very fast. Like I'm not sure if this movie was longer, if it kind of like could breathe a little bit more, but
yeah,
it's a pretty quick movie too.
Yeah, to me, I feel like they weren't just like too concerned about the actual plot. They were like, okay,
no,
next food monster, let's go, which is ideal, I think.
Yeah. Especially because, like, we already know from, like, the get-go that Chester is an evil villain, so it's not, like, a twist or surprise to us, but, like, Flint is a doofus. He's, like, unaware that Chester is up to anything bad.
Yeah, the audience does sort of know exactly what's going to happen in this movie, and we're just sort of along for the visual experience of that. It's like, you know what's going to happen, and we just get to look at
Which is, like, probably me putting, like, my adult, like, brain watching this movie, whereas, like, I've seen movies before, so I kind of know how movies operate. So, like, this feels kind of predictable, but, like, if you're a kid watching this movie, you must be having the time of your fucking life because you get to see all kinds of food creatures and stuff. You're probably not caring about the human drama at all. You're just, like, watching all these, like, insane designs and stuff, like, wacky characters, like, moving in weird ways. Like, I imagine kids, like, watching this with a kid must be incredible.
Yeah, and then I do also, I mean, the food puns are obviously very bad, but I do like all of the dialogue, like, between the characters is usually quite funny. Just the pacing is the thing that's they kind of disregard, which I don't have
Flint's trying to patch things up with Sam, but Barry's in Sam's backpack and keeps saying, woo, and woo.
Yes, Barry followed them. He followed them all the way because he just loves Sam so much. Because he's just so sweet and cute.
Yeah, and, like, Sam's trying to keep this Barry quiet and everything, pretending that, like, she's the one making those sounds there. And so, like, Sam's trying to teach Barry a little bit of language there because Barry refuses to leave Sam. At this point, too, Flint develops a helmet that will, like, laser guide into Flint's from her. So they know exactly where they're going, so they don't need to find any more, like, maps or anything to get to the location there. So now, like, something huge is coming towards them, and it's the Taco Dial Supreme.
Yeah, which is a sort of a crocodile-looking thing made out of a quesadilla, and then it has bell peppers for legs. This is the second, like, multi-food creature, I think.
And it even has, like, little babies of its own, too.
Little babies are so cute.
Oh, they're adorable. Yeah, they treat this Crocodile Supreme chase sequence almost like it's the T-Rex in Jurassic Park as well. Which is like a fun little chase scene. The Taco Dial comes back later on, but, like, they get away pretty much no problem at all. Now they're going through a syrup swamp.
Yeah. Well, also, Sam notices that the Taco Dial was just trying to protect her babies. Because they're secretly all very gentle and good creatures.
Yeah, and the fact they have little families, too. That's not just, like, one-off monsters. Like, they have, like, there's generations happening within this ecosystem.
Like, well, if anyone in the audience saw 28 weeks later, or 28 months later, which, a brief spoiler...
Or years?
28 years later, yeah. It's sort of implied that the infected have, like, families of their own and have deep bonds. And that's exactly what is happening in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They're even, like, the Taco Dials are even, like, on a hill.
There should have been a bone temple in this movie.
Oh my god, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 3, the Bone Temple.
I'd want it 100%.
Yes. Oh, the Chicken Bone Temple? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just have a bunch of, like, discarded chicken drumsticks and stuff, like, waiting at a little, like, tower with, like, a little, like, chicken skull at the top.
Oh my god, yeah. This movie has so much going on. It has so much going on.
So next phase of their adventure, they're going through a syrup swamp. They're struggling to get through because it's syrupy. It's, like, very slow to walk through. Chester says something about how, like, soon they will defeat all the food animals. And Sam's like, these animals, like, deserve to, like, exist. Like, we should be studying the food animals, not killing them, which is a very scientist thing to say, which is good. It's a very moral thing to say. So Flint at this point is torn between saving the world from food attacks that Chester told him will happen and respecting his own friends. And it says something along the lines like, oh yeah, like, I respect your opinions, friends, but, like, your opinions don't really matter right now, which causes, like, the schism between him and his friend group. So Sam's pissed off, starts walking away from Flint as, like, Flint's crying out to her, but, like, she's, like, going slowly through the syrup, like, moving, like half a kilometer per hour, and Flint's like, no, Sam, come back here, no, and she's, like, 3 feet away.
Yeah, I really like that scene. It is pretty sad, because he's just, like, immediately like, oh no, I'm gonna go with Chester, and you guys can go away. And then Sam is immediately like, well, okay, see ya, bye. Just slowly walking through the syrup.
Yeah. So now they're separated. So the rest of the team, they go back and they run into the cheese spider. And ends up being really friendly. This is when the cheese spider, like, licks Sam, like, with full special sauce, and Steve yells, "Yellow."
One of his many words. Yeah, Steve has not really been doing that much until this point, other than just sort of being there, which is all he needs to do. The cheese spider, she's okay. She has French fries for legs, which is kind of cute.
Sesame seeds for eyes.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, the sesame seed eyes are very unsettling.
They are, because you think it's terrifying at first, but then once you see at the scene here, like, once they realize, like, oh, this cheese spider is actually pretty friendly. It's only attacking people with, like, Live Core branding on them. And then May, the cameraman, like, he looks at his camera and realizes that Live Core, flip that around, is actually Evil Core.
Oh, it was there the whole time. It was right there. Oh, I love that non-reveal. Yeah. It's just like, and then they even say, Manny even says, Brent is like, what's Evil? And Manny's like, evil. In case the audience really doesn't get it.
Yeah.
It's just such a good non-reveal.
Chester's Sentinels show up there. They freeze him with, like, freeze rays. And, like, they're taken away, and Barry sees all this happening from, like, underneath, like, a leaf, and he's all upset, which just makes me sad because I don't like to see Barry being upset.
So Barry takes off and sort of gathers some of his other fruit friends and heads towards he's got, like, a blueberry and some other strawberries with him, and he heads to find Flint, who's also, it's very funny that Chester needed Flint to find the thing in the first place because it's literally on top of a giant mountain that's made of food.
Yeah, it's like it's like literally the one place you expect it to be. Like
Yeah,
it's
the
very
middle of the
obvious.
island.
Yeah, it's the middle of the island. Like, I don't know, you think you take like one surveillance photo with like a drone or something and know exactly where it is. So like Flint and Chester, they climb the peak and find the Flitzpfiffer, and Flint is about to like insert the BSUSB, but then the Flitzpfiffer creates a little cute little marshmallow monster or creature, and they're like marshmallows with like smiley faces, and like they all like, gathered around like a family. Uh, Flint realized like, oh yeah, Sam was right. Like, maybe we shouldn't genocide all the food monsters. And
Yeah.
and then Flint's like, okay, like wants to stop Chester B from doing all the stuff. So in a little scuffle, the BSUSB falls into the Flitzpfiffer, and it reprograms it to fall into Chester's control. So Flint's devastated because his idol betrayed him. His childhood hero's a villain. Chester V takes the Flitzpfiffer and away from Flint and pushes Flint off of a cliff.
Yeah, and the scene's also I find pretty sad because the Flitzpfiffer is attached to all of these vines, which is like how it produces food all over the island, and then you get different shots of the island of the vines all dying, and all of the food is looking at it like, oh no! So everyone is like kind of plugged in as to what's going on. And it's
very like Avatar, like, and how like all this nature is connected. It's not just like it's all one interconnected ecosystem rather than just like survival of the fittest type thing. They're all like one together in a way.
Yeah. And Chester has no way of knowing what's on the bottom of the cliff. So Chester tries to kill Flint. Like, straight up cold-blooded murder. Even Barb is like, "Oh my god, what are you doing, Chester?" And he's like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. He tries to kill Flint.
Yeah. At this point, Chester's and forces didn't clean up on the island. They're locking up all the creatures in like little bottles and such. And Chester's rebuilding his big in San Francisco or San Fran Jose. He has like his like headquarters like look like a giant light bulb. So he's like recreating that kind of lab like here on this island. It's recreating his headquarters on this island there. So the team, they're all like stuck in these like flasks, like these bottle flasks, and they're being driven by Barb. Someone calls her a monkey. She says like, "I'm not a monkey. I'm an orangutan." And Sam says like, well, Chester keeps calling you a monkey, and a real friend would never call you a monkey if you say like, respect what I want to be referred to as. So this gets the idea into Barb, like, hey, maybe like Chester's not a great guy. Like he did just try to kill a guy. So Flint turns out he fell into some water there, and he was saved by the marshmallow creatures. And Tim and the Pickleman. Tim and the Pickleman's a great name for a band, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Tim and the Pickleman.
Tim and the Pickleman, they find Flint in the marshmallows, and they all gather around this one spot there. There's a lot of other food animals around them. So Barry tells Flint and Woo, and is able to kind of communicate through charades where his friends are. So Barry summons all like the food animals to this location with the giant Enwu, saying out loud. It turns out Enwu is what the food animals refer to their grand creator, who is Flint Lockwood. And Flint doesn't really seem to be the messiah there, but gives him a big rousing speech that Flint's saying in English, of course, but Barry's translating into absolute gibberish for all the animals.
Yeah, Barry, in the 5 minutes since he's left Sam, has learned English.
Yeah. Learning language is easy, right? Like,
yeah. The fruit is sort of implied to be not only intelligent, but, like, extremely intelligent. But I like the Enwu. There is a TV with legs that Flint invented in the previous episode that has just been playing a clip of him over and over, and it just gets stuck on the bit where he goes Flynn and then Woo for Lockwood. So Enwu. So he is Enwu.
Yeah, it's just adorable. Like Barry was looking at Flint with such admiration when he was saying those words too. So like that's kind of it's nice.
Yeah, they get to meet God. Like that's crazy. Like,
yeah, and God's just some nerdy scientist with a big nose.
Yeah, who's trying to kill them all, which is very like
who's trying to kill them all. Yeah,
I know what that's like. Yeah, and then we get a really lovely montage of them putting together a ginormous fishing rod that Tim will use to fling Flynn into the live core that's being built around the Flitzpfiffer.
Yeah, and to like help steady the big boat they have there. So like they're casting Flint off like while on Tim's fishing boat. Two submarine sandwich whales help steady the boat too. So it's just two giant submarine sandwiches with like blowholes.
Yeah, the subs.
Yeah.
Sub whales.
Yeah. And Flint gets launched up there with along with Barry, of course. And
then Barry's wearing a helmet.
Yeah. You got to keep Barry okay, because Barry's a very special boy. So they find like a giant room with like a lot of like circular containment cells, and in those cells are all the food as well as Barry's friends or Flint's friends. They find the cheese spider there, who works with Barry to free all the critters, and then we get to that food portal device there. So they use that to help escape the lair and get into Tim's boat, because it can only, of course, transport food, not people. So the leak is the first one that gets through, and Tim gets to say, "Oh, there's a leak in my boat."
It's funny. It's funny every time.
It's great.
It's so funny. Yeah. So they get a large majority of the food out before the Sentinels of Safety dismantle the portal.
Mm-hmm. Barry gets into one of the Sentinel suits, which is really funny.
Yeah.
So he starts he starts blasting them away, which is awesome with like their like freeze rays or whatever.
From here on out, it's kind of like a Bond movie.
It is, yeah. It's like where now the villain's evil lair. The villain has like some slow death device to kill people, which like why are you trying to kill them so slowly? Because that can easily backfire against you.
It's funny. He's slowly lowering them into a meat grinder.
Yeah, because like this meat grinder is supposed to be used for like creating this new food bar system. So he reveals Chester reveals his grand plan, which is he wants to crunch up all the food animals into these food bars. So it is just a grinder. He's going to put all these creatures into these bottles there, dump them inside, and he'll be able to sell these food bars to, I guess, everyone in the world there and make a lot of money. Sam says a line around here like, "No, you should not be eating living food." Which I'm like, I can't tell this movie's like pro-vegan, vegetarian, or even thinks about that whatsoever.
Yeah, it never addresses it. It just sort of is like, these animals are not really like regular animals. They're more intelligent than regular animals, is how it kind of skirts around it. It's like, no, they're basically people.
Yeah, because it's not like this movie's like, oh, like, everyone should like, eat fruits and vegetables, not animals. But like the fruits and vegetables are animals in this movie. Yeah. And it's so, like, I like that they don't try to reckon with it too much, because that's probably too complicated for a kids movie to really
they would have written themselves into a corner, I think. But so it's better that they literally are like, whatever, we're not addressing it.
It may as well just brush past it for sure. Yeah. Out here, Chester calls Barb a monkey, so she sulks away miserable. So Chester has one controller that has the ability to stop the grinder to save his friends. Chester creates a bunch of duplicate holograms of himself. So Sam comes up like, "Hey, why don't you use your party invention?" He throws it. Steve breaks through, gets to activate this party device, which sprays glitter on the real Chester, because all the holograms just passes through them. Chester tries to run off, of course, with the Flitzifer and is stopped by burying all the food. He thinks he can fly away with it because Barb has a little like flying little scooter thing, but Barb gets pissed off for calling him a monkey one last time. So he falls into the grinder. And
it's about to be a very dark ending.
Yeah.
But then
he retracts like a turtle into a suit there. And he starts bouncing off all the grinder things, and he gets out of there. He's totally fine. But then he gets eaten by the cheese spider.
Yeah. And so, it's dark again. He dies. He straight up dies.
The cheese spider eats him, and then, like, with the tortoise torso shell thing happening, and spits him out, and with, like, no, like, body inside at all. So it basically eats him like a prawn. Like, it's gnarly.
Yeah, and there's also a good bit at the end where he thinks his holograms will save him. He's like, "Holograms, catch me!"
Yeah.
And it's like, the other thing I really like about this movie is it's extremely obvious. Like, the characters get on screen and tell you, it's important to have friends.
Yeah.
And that's another really great moment where it's just like, you cannot have holograms as friends.
Yeah, like, this is probably a great movie for a 4-year-old. Like, it really is. Simple lessons. We're going to tell. It's not complicated. It's not too heavy or anything. And it's like, the power of friendship, right? Like, it's not like a very not a super challenging movie.
I can think of some adults that could watch this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, when I was watching it the other day, I was watching it with my sister, and I was like, "Oh, these are like AI companions. Everything
Yeah.
is relevant with Cloudy with a
Hmm.
Chance of Meatballs too."
Especially with all the tech stuff too. Now that we have all these tech oligarchs, especially in America, that are just like running everything, like, you know, with no regards to anyone's safety or anything. And this
Yeah,
is a
and
movie where
yeah,
a
and
guy
Chester
wants
was
to destroy the planet.
yeah, he was willing to like commit genocide essentially to sell his food bar, and his
Hmm.
excuse was like, well, food that's made in this way we know is like 75% more delicious. And like
Yeah,
that's it. That's the only justification that's ever given. And he's like, yeah, and so we're going to kill all of them.
yeah. It's not even like he's trying to solve like world hunger or something like that. It's basically,
No.
oh, some mathematician told us that, like, oh yeah, like it's 70% more delicious.
Yeah.
Like it's just for profits. It's not for doing anything good for the world.
Yeah, and I like that in this movie they did not give Chester, like, he's not one of those sympathetic villains. It's like,
Hmm.
no, he's just doing this because he wants to make money. Um, and it is just, yeah, I like a movie that just doesn't bother with having a sympathetic villain.
There's like
I
no
think,
tragic past with him. It's not like, oh,
no.
like I was like, you know, had to eat my vegetables too much as a kid because my mom made me. Now I hate vegetables. It's just like, no, this guy is just an evil like capitalist.
Yeah. Well, we also learned that he was also bullied as a child, but rather than like get over it and move on with his life, he's like, no, I'm going to continue punishing all of my
Hmm.
bullies until
Please.
the end of time.
Yeah,
And he has no friends because of it. He's just like a rich loser whose only friends are holograms of himself and a monkey ape thing that he built in a lab.
that hates him.
That
Like,
he hates, yeah, that he doesn't like,
yeah,
and that he hates.
yeah,
Yeah, and this is pretty much the movie's pretty much over. They just
yeah. They
pretty much
return
just
the
go home.
Listopher to the peak of the island. It revives. It starts creating more food animals all over again. The island's all bright and colorful again. Team's happy too. I was wondering
Yeah.
a great little bit where the cop he's crying because he shouldn't be crying. He's all
Oh yeah.
masculine and stuff. A tear falls on a blueberry, and the blueberry
Hmm.
just instantly grows like a big thick beard,
Yeah,
and there's like
yeah.
a
No,
very
it's
macho
it's
growl.
chest hair.
Oh,
It's
it's chest
chest
hair,
hair.
and it's just like
Yeah,
like very happy, like
yeah,
just like I'm tough now.
yeah, yeah. And then Tim teaches his son to fish, and they can finally bond that way as well. And Flint is also like, oh, I guess my dad isn't lame anymore. I guess he's been cool the whole time.
Yeah, and like Flint's really bad at fishing first. Like he immediately throws the fishing rod into the water right away. Um,
Yeah,
and then when he ends up catching a fish, which is like the smallest little like 1 inch fish ever, and he's so happy with it. And
he's
then like
so happy.
he says to his dad like, "Can we do it again like all the time, like go fishing?" And Tim is really
Mm.
happy, which is nice.
Yeah, it's really nice, especially because at the end of the first movie, Tim put in all this work to like understand his son, and
Hmm.
Flint like refused to do anything to understand his dad. And so in this movie, it's nice that at the very end we see it's like, okay, it's not just super as one-sided as in the beginning.
It feels strange that the first movie did not end with them fishing.
Yeah, this feels like maybe rectifying that a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, so the food island's all like, it's gonna keep growing as is. Like everyone's happy. So in the animated credit sequence, it's implied that they all work for Sparkwood now. They all work together in his lab and such. Um, Food's all happy. Barry's going to school, and Sam's a teacher.
God, I didn't watch the credits. I forgot about that. There is
It's
there's a TV show as well that I haven't
yeah,
seen.
like I was looking it up. So like this TV show, like it's a prequel about like Sam and Flint, but like they meet in the first movie. So that what they do, the retcon it is like Flint says at one point like Sam, because they're pairing their kids in the TV show, and like Flint says to Sam like, Sam, if you ever move away because like you're a military brat or something like that, and you're always moving away, like I will like develop a device that will give me amnesia, so I will forget you, so I don't get heartbroken.
That's okay. That's a
Which is
lot.
an insane way to kind of like just like I don't know, just like who cares? Just like have them be like friends and just like ignore
Yeah,
the first
kids
movie.
forget stuff all the time.
Yeah,
Oh my god, yeah,
but
that's an insane adherence to canon
yeah,
for a children's movie. It
I
came
know.
out in like, oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, in the show, like okay, so like it's one of those kids shows that like has like you know 11-minute episodes that put 2 episodes together like one programming block.
Yeah.
It aired 104 11-minute episodes over 2 seasons.
My God, maybe I should watch it.
Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure what it's like, because I think it is meant for, like, little kids, but it could be a lot of fun.
So is the movie. So is the movie. It is my favorite movie.
Yeah, and, like, in the TV show, like, none of the original cast returns, too, so it's all, like, new voice, but I think they're younger, too, so, like, probably younger sounding voices. So you missed the credits, but I stuck around, so there's a post-credit scene.
Yeah, on my stream didn't have the post-credit scene. I forgot it.
Yeah, I was watching on Crave, so I got it, and so Barb is trying to ask Steve out on a date. So like Steve is like making a sandwich, and Barb asks like, "Hey, you want to get some coffee?" And Steve's like finished up making up a sandwich and yells like, "Dinner!" And she mistakes it to believe like, "Oh yes, he said yes to the date." Just like grabs Steve, just like runs away.
Yeah, I remember that post-credit scene. I don't love them as a couple because Steve is a monkey, and she is literally a human brain in an ape brain in an ape body. So
and they also made
unethical.
Yeah, and they also made a whole big thing like how like monkeys and orangutans are different. They're not the same. Yeah, yet they just pair them together.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're talking ape, pickings are pretty slim.
True, yeah. It's not Planet of the Apes quite yet.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of favorite movies. That's my other favorite movie.
It's like the original Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good. But she should ask, like, Barb should ask Flint to make another monkey thought translator and get another ape. Or the shrimpanzees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, there's a lot more, like, creatures, like, being invented for this island right now. Like, there are options for you for... Your dating pool is about to expand a lot. Yeah. You don't have to, like, go back to this.
Yeah.
I also feel like Steve is, like, he's, like, a monkey, but he's not, like has, like, a ton of intelligence. He, like...
No, Steve is an idiot. Yeah, he's stupid.
He's dumb. He knows only a few words there. I feel like there's a big mental gap in that relationship for intelligence.
Yeah, I don't love it. But yeah, that's the entire movie. No one has to watch it now because they can just listen to us recount what happens during the movie.
But like, you'll get to see all like the colorful creatures and how like good the animation is. So like everyone should go and watch the movie too.
Yes, please, everyone watch both movies.
Yeah, so like that's Cloud Chance Meatballs 2. So the initial response to it was positive, a bit more of a muted response to the predecessor. A lot of critics kind of found it to be a bit less of an intelligent movie than the first one. But like a lot of kids movies where like your critics say like, oh well, like I had issues with the plot and stuff. It's like, hey, like kids will have a lot of fun seeing them in the theaters, which I think they did because this movie made $274 million off of a $78 million budget, which is actually more than what the first movie made. So
yeah, and it was cheaper to make than the first movie.
Yeah, like the budget's like $22 million less, which I'm not sure how or why.
Yeah. Someone I was looking into this. Someone on Reddit speculated that they probably just had a lot of stuff that they could reuse from the first movie, like models or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that sounds reasonable.
And I guess it's like first-time directors too, so they're probably like ask for less money, like. Might be shorter too. I forget. I need to look at the run times. Maybe it's a shorter movie too, so it like costs less for animation. But, yeah. So apparently, Phil Lord was saying that they have a sequel planned. It's written. They finished it just before the writer's strike. So the sequel for Cloud Chance Meatballs 3 is called Planet of the Grapes.
Oh my god, I did not know about this.
Yeah. So I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but like considering how much money both these movies made, like I'm surprised. Like. Also, people are going to be pretty nostalgic for these movies, too, at this point. Like, I'm surprised, like, probably next few years, they're probably going to pump it out, for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Or I like our idea, the bone temple.
Yeah. The bone temple. Like, absolutely, yeah. Get Ray Fiennes in there, just, like, putting skulls up, like, cleaning up skulls. And
oh, my God.
I have a really sad story about cancer, too.
Oh, no. Yeah, one of the foods could get, like, an illness. I don't know. Yeah, I think horror movies are underexplored in children's media, so I don't know. I think they should
just like honestly just like why not just like like this one basically like is a Jurassic Park knockoff. Like I don't know, like it'd be more fun if like Despicable Me was trying to like rip off things like a movie like that rather than just like do this typical like basically it's a heist movie kind of thing over and over again. Like you could have a lot more fun with kids movies than I think and have like kids.
the first one is Twister, and this one is Jurassic Park, and then the third one. Well, it sounds like they're going to do Planet of the Apes, that's pretty cool.
Like, that's a great idea because like you can actually like expand the world too and stuff, and like you can easily bring back every single character and have it work out well. Like except for the villain, who they just full on kill off the villain in this movie.
He's dead. He's fully dead. Like, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, so do you have any final thoughts for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2?
Yeah, it's just such a unique movie. I think even in the Sony catalog, it's just sort of a standout as being so odd. It's not really like anything else they've put out. Everything else they've done is much more like cohesive, I think. Like it's much just sort of tighter. But this movie definitely feels it, even though it is just sort of Jurassic Park. There's a lot of moments in there that are just very creative, and I think, I don't know, maybe the studio just like didn't really care what was going on while they were making this movie, because it feels like whatever they were doing, they were just doing it to have the most amount of fun possible with the movie.
It's a very loose feeling movie, which you hardly feel like animated movies be loose, because like it's so expensive to do that you can't really afford to be, you know, you have to be kind of like on schedule, on script. But like this one feels like, it's a very like
it almost feels like it's been improv in parts, but
which
it's
is
animated.
Like hard to do for animated movies. And like I'm in the camp that I still like the first one a lot more. I think the second one's a good movie, but like it's just I feel like the first one's a lot more of a polished movie. But like you're right, like this one is just much more of a wild, zanier ride. Like it's much different than the first one.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, like, how exactly did they make this movie to achieve this sort of... I mean, it's not necessarily, like, tonally inconsistent, but the tone is almost, like, a little surreal, but it never gets so surreal that it becomes a surreal comedy. Like, it's still very grounded in... There's lots of, like, rules in this universe, and they follow them, but the actual structure is just so loose and zany, which is mirrored in the animation, which is also the way the characters move is just so fluid. And which is another reason I really like this movie is, even though I think the character design is overall pretty boring, I just love how they move. They just move in ways that I have not really seen in animation, other than in maybe like rubber hose style animation. They move in very impossible ways, and they have a lot of really strange sort of visual gags where characters will like move their arms in ways that are like impossible. And there's one scene where Flint is holding a telescope, and he actually has 3 arms in that scene so that they could do the joke. So he's like pointing at the mountain, and then another hand comes in and is also pointing, but it's Flint's hand, so he has 3 hands. So there are these like minor rule breaks that really serve the visual comedy very well. The visual comedy in this movie is much better, I think, than any of the written stuff. Like if you were to watch it with the dialogue off, like with no sound, maybe just some music, I think it would still work pretty well. Because it's just so interesting to look at. And there's always just, it's just very, and it's just, the colors are really great.
It really pops. Like it is a very colorful looking movie. And like I think a lot of my complaints always come down to like, you know, with this movie, it's like the plot's kind of saggy. I don't like the villain. I don't really buy like the betrayal and stuff. Other than that, like it's just a really fun time. Like it's like a fun adventure movie with a lot of interesting creature designs, fantastic sight gags, really funny jokes.
Yeah, and it is like I can't really think of another movie that's similar to it, other than maybe Robots, in the kind of the looseness kind of feel.
I need to rewatch I saw Robots in the theaters when it came out, but I love
Robots. Robots is similar in that there's a lot of like there's a high like joke per minute sort of pace. The plot is kind of blah, but it's just so strange in parts that you're like, I wonder how they got to doing that. So I don't know, I would like for there to be more children's animated movies that are just like this, where it's just like, what? Like, how did they get to here?
And like, also like, I'm not sure what it is, but like, kids movies, but I think kids just must love dancing. But like, I feel like every like kids movie that's popped up is like not just done by Disney. Like, there's like 3 dance numbers in it. Like each Despicable Me movie has like 4 dance scenes, and it's like, okay, like I feel like this one, like okay, it actually had enough to justify runtime.
Yeah, there's a single dance scene, and it's Barry, so I'll allow it. But yeah,
it's not like it just has like an Ariana Grande song or a Demi Lovato song pop up.
No,
like
the music in the second one is definitely not as good as in the first one, but it's okay. But yeah, I really like it in contrast to Disney movies, which I haven't enjoyed a Disney movie, I think, maybe since, well, that's Pixar, but Turning Red.
Turning Red's so good.
Yeah, I find that a lot of the Disney movies are just, even though obviously Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is quite predictable, everything in a Disney movie is predictable. I think even visually.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like you know exactly what's going to happen, you know exactly what it's going to look like, you know when all of the songs are going to be, you know when the dancing is going to happen. It's just very, like, prescriptive. And this movie, even though the plot is very predictable, the way that it unfolds and the stuff that happens on the screen is not.
There's a sense of wonder with the designs, too. Like, even just, like, them walking through the jungle. Like, there's a part where, like, they're, like, crossing, like, what should be, like, a tree bridge, and it's, like, lasagna.
Like, yeah.
So, like, there's always, like, a lot of creative ideas.
Yeah, it feels very, like, fleshed out, whereas I find a lot of Disney movies... The last Disney movie I think I saw was maybe Encanto. It just felt, despite all of, like, the visual textures and the character design and the animation, it just felt sterile. Like, it just felt very clean and maybe overthought of, whereas Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is just much messier.
Yeah, like, I saw Moana 2 last year, and that's a movie that's I don't think is very good at all. And that one is the same thing as this movie does, where like it kind of just drags the cast from the first movie along for the journey for like no particular reason. But they don't really give them any jokes or anything to do. At least this movie's kind of joke first, so like you can these characters are like sure they may not be important to like the grand machinations of the plot, but they are at least doing funny things.
Yeah, and they're doing, like, they make sense thematically, and it is also a joke in the movie that they're there.
Yeah,
like they reference that it's like, well, I guess they're here, like...
Yeah, let's just, like, get them in here, let's, like, keep going with the plot, like, let's just have some fun, right? It's not really about, like, it's not some character's, like, deep journey into, like, Flynn learns a lesson about, like, friendship or whatever, but, like, other than that, it's just kind of, like, let's go for a fun adventure in the jungle and save the world while doing it. And and ultimately it's a very, very fun and charming movie.
Yeah, and it doesn't I think it just doesn't take itself very seriously, which is in contrast to like a Disney movie which takes itself incredibly seriously, even if it kind of is like pretending not to. You're like, the stakes feel much higher in a Disney movie, I think.
Yeah, because at this movie, when this movie gets really serious, it cuts back to like Tim doing some stuff with the pickles. So it
refuses to be serious.
Yeah, so like they do all the dramatic beats because you kind of have to, right? And then just kind of just like, then they just kind of like have some like, fun visual gags and stuff. They don't really have a lot of downtime if you feel like sad.
Yeah, it does feel like that they are acknowledging, it's like, yeah, these are the plot beats that have to happen because it's a children's movie, but, like, we don't really care about them. So here's a butter frog. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, whereas I think a Disney movie will really try to, like, pull out that emotional moment, even if it is also, like, not very well written.
I also think this looks like it's been like 12 years since the movie's come out. Like, I think this looks just as good as like a modern like, Disney movie. Like, the animation's been kind of stagnant. Like, Pixar and Disney have kind of stuck with the exact same style for so long that like that is just what all their movies look like. Whereas like this one, sure, it has the 3D animation style, which is kind of standard, but like it's the creativity with the designs I really like. And like, sure, like you're right. I don't think the humans look that great, but you're not here for the human designs. You're here for those like bizarre like food contraptions, like like the cheese spider. Like it has like a lot of like interesting design elements to it all. Like coming up with a way to for a creature to have like French fry legs, sesame seed eyes, move around like a spider, and have it be menacing at some point and kind of cute and cuddly at another point. Like that's a lot of creativity has to go into that to actually make that work.
Yeah, they pull off some very nice character designs in the foods. But then also with like a Disney movie, I do think that they're also more concerned with like reality simulation rather than cartoon kind of physics.
Yeah, they're trying to like they're like in an arms race to be like the best looking animated 3D movie ever every single time.
Yeah, but by best looking they mean looks the most real. And
Yeah.
I don't think like my favorite animated movies usually they don't bother looking real. That's the point. It's like they're cartoons; they don't have to look real. You can break as many sort of rules as you want in terms of like following physics and stuff. And I think Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs does that well. I think a lot of the Sony movies do that really well. Like Spider-Verse, I think also
absolutely, yeah,
does some really great
that's some really creative visual effects for those movies too. Like just how just the style of it is so like it's so unique of itself. It's supposed to be a very comic book feeling, and it looks like a comic book, which is like such a cool way to go about it.
Yeah, I do think I don't know if I've seen every Sony animation movie, but they all look distinctive. It's like, oh yeah, that's the Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs design. Oh, that's the K-pop Demon Hunters design. Like they all look.
Were they K-pop Demon Hunters?
Yeah, Sony did.
Okay,
K-pop
yeah.
Demon Hunters.
That's a really interesting looking movie.
Yeah, none of these movies look like they take place in the same shared universe. They're very like disparate from each other.
Yeah, it's like Disney, which has like a house style now, which both Pixar and Disney had to fall under now, which is kind of disappointing because like when they were doing their own separate things, you could expect something new each time. Whereas I feel like now it's just kind of like everyone looks like Elsa from Frozen now.
Yeah, and I am sort of worried that maybe other animation is going to be kind of going in that like franchise focused direction just because everything is. Like I know Sony's even thinking of doing another K-pop Demon Hunters, which I think is fine. But then they're also like, oh, we might do a live action K-pop Demon Hunters. And it's like, no, don't do that.
You just invented a K-pop band. Like, that's all you did.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what's, like, who is this for?
Yeah.
And I find, but I do find that the Sony movies tend to be, like, they're always enjoyable to watch, even if the plot is not good.
Yeah, because, like, again, like with this, my issues are all plot this movie, but like the designs are so fascinating, and I love the energy and the zaniness of this movie too. Like it's really,
the energy is good, and I always just like movies where you can tell that the cast had fun. It's like you can tell they had a fun time.
Absolutely, yeah. Like the voice work is really really solid in this. I think the only voice I'm not a fan of is Will Forte as Chester, but other than that, like everyone is just like ripping off jokes like crazy. I love James Caan in this movie. James Caan is the father.
Yeah, as the dad. He's
jokes.
So
it's
good.
so like he's putting on a voice too. He's not just doing typical James Caan voice as well. It's really funny.
Yeah, he's doing like almost kind of like a New Jersey dad.
Yeah.
Accent. Yeah. Yeah, I do really like his character design with the huge eyebrow and the mustache.
Yeah, where you can't really see his mouth or his eyes. It's just
you
it's
can't
just
see his
facial hair.
mouth. Yeah, but he does manage to be very expressive, even without the most of his facial features.
Yeah,
and he's got this great, just sort of rounded rectangle kind of shape, in contrast to Flint, who is just sort of a noodle.
Yeah, he's a noodle man.
Shape. Yeah, of all of the humans, him and then I can't remember the cop's name. I feel bad. Earl, they have the best designs, I think. Yeah, Earl just looks like Mr. T, but like that's a good shape to be.
It's a good design to have. Yeah,
it's a good design to have. Mr. T is very cool.
Yeah. All right.
It's just a good movie.
Yeah. Well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me talk about my favorite movie for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, so, do you have anything to unplug?
Not really. You could just follow me on Blue Sky. I am egg-brained there. Yeah, I have no other online presence.
Okay, well, definitely follow Egg on Blue Sky because she's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can follow me on social media at bwishart on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd. Also give MoviePod a follow on Twitter and Blue Sky. Also, please keep sending in some more emails to the mailbag at moviepodmailbag@gmail.com. yeah, so the format change is coming next week now. Yeah, the feed will remain the same, so stay subscribed to this, and you will get the new episodes. There might be a bonus season finale episode coming out Friday, but that's really up in the air for a bunch of reasons. So if an episode pops up in your feed Friday, great. If not, this is the season finale of MoviePod. So next week is MoviePod Reborn. So it will become a podcast about reclaimed cinema. Films have had a significant change in reception since their initial release. And to launch off the new format, as well as to launch off Spooky Month for October and Halloween, I am joined by Maeve. We will be discussing Paul W.S. Anderson's first Resident Evil movie. Have you seen that one? Did you play the games at all?
I played 4, 7, and 8.
Those are good ones to play, yeah. They're bad adaptations of the video games for sure, but like they're pretty fun, like B schlocky action movies.
Interesting. Well, I'm known for enjoying movies that most people really don't like, so
Yeah, so you'll like the form of a new podcast then.
yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for joining me, Egg.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was very fun.
Yeah. Until next week, when things will be pretty different around here, take care.